Hello, everybody. This is Carol from Friendly Quail, and today I'm going to be making some tags for my most recent journals. And I'm going to start with just some journal cards, though. I needed a couple more journal cards, so I cut these out of, this I think I got from ephemera from Tim Holtz or something years ago. And I had some cards that were from Roxy, and I'm just showing you. I've got my antique linen, and I don't like the white, so I'm just kind of rubbing this over here to give it a little bit more of a yellowed background. And you can do this on the front too. It's not quite as white as the other one is, but the other side was. But I just don't like it really white, and it just seems to work. And then once I have that, I'm doing the edges, distressing the edges. And this is printed on cardstock, so it's stiff enough that you can put it in and write on it for journaling. Okay. So I've got a couple of them for each journal. And then I cut up the backgrounds that I sprayed the flowers on. And when I cut it up, I cut out some of the bigger ones, and I have some more like what I would call medium. They're either 3 by 5 or 2.5 by 5. This one's about 2 and 3 by, I think, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 3 by 6. So, whatever seemed to fit, I cut that out. And then I use my card, and I have several different shapes for the edge, but I use my card that I've cut the edge off of and line it up, and I make that tag shape. And I use these all the time. If I wanted it more at an angle, I'd use this one, and I even have a third one that's even more of an angle, but those are the ones I use the most. So now I had a bunch of these. So I took some of them, and I put the coffee dyed paper on the back, and that makes them a little bit more stiff. And then I've been pulling out things that I can use on them. So I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and put it on. Well, I work. I went and got a COVID test today, and it came out negative. I had just did the rapid test, but a friend of mine had been at my house, and then a few days later she tested positive. So it's now been a week since that happened, and I'm hoping I do have like kind of some stuff going down my throat, but I have sinus allergies and stuff like that, so I think that's what it is. But I thought it better be tested to just to be sure. Now this is something, I'll show you what it's from. It's gonna stick out on the ends because I'll have to cut it off. I cut it longer than I needed. it was part of a curtain, and I coffee dyed the curtain, and this actually was on the back of it, and it was like, it's like a design, but it's on the back of the curtain. I don't know if that was just put on there to make it stiffer when you put it on, but I thought it kind of looked cool. So I just cut some of this off and cut the edges off so that it was open. And something different. Putting it on here. I have some snippets I made. I punched out a piece of paper and put some I probably got some of this off. Some laces and fabric on it and just stapled it. But it has that same kind of pinky purple that's on there. So I thought I'd put that on here. Oh, I can use this one. So my husband went and got tested, and he was negative too, and we had both been exposed to our friend who then tested positive. She was vaccinated, we're vaccinated and boosted. But you never know, you can still get it. A friend of mine up in Wisconsin, he got it. He was vaccinated and boosted, and he didn't even have symptoms, but he had it. He had been with his son, helping him do some work, and his son got it, so he was tested, and sure enough, he had it. Now, I just put a creative sticker on that. That's from my porch prints. When I first started journaling, I bought some digitals, and you know, it's nice because you can use them over and over again instead of like Tim Holtz stuff that you have to rebuy. And I have a whale tail that I'm going to put on the top for a tab. And these I actually got from Artie Mays, and I had to cut them all out. They're okay. I don't have one of those punches. So, put it on, kind of center it on here. And I will also be stitching around these. There's one, and I have another one for the other journal. So I'm going to do the same thing. And I made a couple of kind of like not really a pocket, I guess it's a tuck, a double tuck, and put it in. And I put in my tucks that I made last week that were made from the 6x6 paper. But I needed some more journaling spaces, so cards or tags. So I thought I would use the backgrounds that I showed you I had from spraying the flowers. And the reason I spray the flowers on a background like this after I'm cut out, even though sometimes they kind of fly around, I spray them on that because if I spray the paper, even when it's dry, it just does not punch out well. It's like it, because I'm doing it on book pages, and it just does not punch well. So I just don't like trying it with that because it never punches out right. But the regular book page punches fine. I made these a while ago, and I might have to make some more of them because I'm just about out. So I just pulled out. That's what the nice thing about having your stash, making a mask making and just doing them all different colors and, and that type of thing, and then being able to pull them out when you're ready to make things. So you can still see the different flower shapes and things on the background from when I sprayed, and yet it's not overbearing. Okay, hope that wasn't too out of the picture. So there we have two, and I will stitch around these. And when I put more than one in the same journal, I try to make them look a little bit different, so that it's not, you know, they even though the backgrounds are kind of the same, it's not the same. So for these, I used some of this, and I had gotten this in a swap with a gal from the UK, and I don't know if this is stuff you would wrap to mail in or what, but it's just kind of different, so I'm using this. And I did use a little bit of distress ink on the edges, and I'm putting some glue on here so that I can get this on, and it'll just kind of be in the background here. And with using this glue, if a little bit gets on the front, it dries clear, and it's not shiny so much like the Fabri-Tac is, but it does take a little bit to get it on there. So I'm just going to kind of do both of them here. I just ripped some of this off, and one was one direction, one was the other direction. I didn't care. It just, I thought it kind of was something different for underneath the other designs. I'm going to just sort of put that on here. When I get all done with these, I think I'll stick them underneath a book while they finish drying, just to make sure that everything is down there. And then these are some snippets that I made. This is scrapbook paper, music paper, and then I have a little lace and some digitals, and I made a bunch of them. In fact, I put one of these just on a page in the journal too. But this one is, I made the snippets. So I'm going to put that on here. I have a word thing I'm going to put, though. These are just cut out of scrapbook paper. All I did was cut rectangles, fold them, and then cut a little loop on the side. So these are just tags that I use with leftover cardstock, smaller pieces. And I made a whole bunch of them one time. Oh, I got to put it on this side too. And I still have them. They made so many that I haven't used any of them really totally up yet. So I'm going to get this on the top of this one. Oops, I gotta get it straighter. I think I wanted, yeah, this side. Kind of trying to get this kind of even with the edge here. So we have a tag, but it doesn't stick out real far. It's only maybe about a little less than a 1/4 inch that it sticks out, but it still gives it a little design on that. And then I make my own words. I use different fonts. I open a Word document and I use different fonts, and then I print them. This was printed on some eco-dyed paper, and then I rip them out. But I do all kinds of words and things myself rather than buy them. So it says Free Spirit. So the same thing with this side. I have my little snippet. And I'm going to glue that on. I try to use different things so that they look different. So if I've got things in my, using this background, the same background in my journal, but they end up looking very different. Okay, well, this is going on here. And put this tab on the top. I think this journaling card tag is a little bit wider than this one. So this one kind of fits a little better on the top. It'll be easier. It's not much wider, but it might be a 1/4 inch or something. I've got that little tab up there, and then I have the same Free Spirit because these are going in 2 different journals. I'll get that on here. So those are those 2. And I have 2 more. These ones are bigger. And I'm going to put some lace. And so about COVID, even though they're saying this one's a lot milder and things, we have 2 friends who did not get the vaccine. They did not want to get it in Wisconsin, and they are now both in ICU. And I talked to their daughter-in-law today, and she told me they weren't doing very well. And so I'm praying for them, I guess. I don't want to get mad at them, but I sort of am because they wouldn't get the vaccine. Okay, I'm going to let that dry while I put it on the other one. Okay. Put this one on. This stuff takes a little bit longer to do. To dry. Sorry, stop talking. Can't talk and do something at the same time. And I don't know which way I'll put it on. Like that, I guess. Okay. I'll cut the excess off after I get these finished. I took some of these. I got these from it was Tim Holtz, and I cut off the edge so that I could put it on like this. I forgot to do the edge because I already did the edges of the cards or the tags. I was thinking I would do those at the same time, but I didn't have it glued on when I did it. So let's see, because I have this lace beneath this and it's going to go over it, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. So it really sticks down good, very well. Okay, making sure. So this is going to go on cut it with my my regular cutter so that it would be nice and straight and I could get it to the edge. And let's see, I have this, which was something that I bought in a digital years ago. I'm also going to put the Fabri-Tac on this one. And I'm going to put this down here. And I'll cut this extra stuff off after. And then I cut out some mushrooms from, maybe you can tell by this writing, it was from a page in one of the Edith Holden books. So I fussy cut out mushrooms on the page. And I'm going to put that on here. Maybe move that up just a little bit. It's still moving. This is going off just a touch off the edge. Okay, and word from, this is just printed on paper, but it'll work fine. I happen to have that one, so I'm going to put that up here, the word magical. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm forgetting to do my treasure chest again. I have stuff ready to go in it. And I need to get that out. I totally forgot last time. I'm up to 94 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 100. I'll do that in a minute here. Let's see, because it's kind of a fallish journal, I'm using the word autumn, although you could do it any time, and I'm just going to put that up here. And I have this that I also fussy cut, out of Edith Holden. And I'm going to be putting this, that was also from that page. And just cut this out. And I have the toadstools. That is going onto the fabric. So I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac. Okay. It does take a little bit more to dry, but it's than the art glitter glue does. It will be good. I like to cut this from the back because then I can see what's sticking out over the edge. Okay, how much time have I been using up here? 24. Okay, I got a couple more minutes. I'd like to keep it around a half an hour. That's why I pick things out ahead of time. Because my phone cuts off at a little over a half an hour. And with these, I'm going to put a eyelet. I have these actually are have the backs that go on them. So I guess maybe there's a different thing, you call it a grommet or something. But I have a whole bunch of these. So I'm going to punch the bigger hole, and these are actually a little bit bigger than the bigger hole. So I'm going to take my awl and make the hole a little bit bigger. It's just a little too small of a hole. Get this one ready. Okay, hopefully that will work. We'll see. The grommets just look, yeah, that'll be good. The grommets just look really a little bit better. With the raised, there's one side that's a little raised. I have to change this back to the big one. I do like my crocodile. And I like to have the part that sticks out that goes through the hole. I can see where it is better if it's coming up from the bottom. Come on. Okay. It is harder to push. Hopefully I got it. Yep. So I've got that in there. All right. I got glue all over my hands. Ew. All right. And get that in the hole. And squeeze. This one I think I have to squeeze a little further. Not very strong. But that's better. Okay. And then I thought I would put some of this ribbon on it. Just cut a chunk off. So I thought the colors went really nice with these cards, the background cards. Okay. Get that through. And pull it through. Now I will put a little glue on the back of that so that that will stay on there. I don't like it to move around, and if these are slippery or whatever, sometimes they can fall off. And once I get it finished, I'll see, oh, I'm not going to do it yet because I'm going to be taking that out when I sew. I don't sew over the ribbon, but you could, I guess. So those are the last ones. So I'm just going to show you each journal will have 3 cards in it. That is what that'll be like. And those will be in the journal, and you will see them when I do the flip through, the final flip through in a day or so, because I am about done, and then I can get on to do something else. Okay, so here's the treasure box. And because I didn't do one last time, I think I dropped something down. I'm going to put some snippets in it. So I have one of these that I used today, and that's going in there. I have a number of these little snippets These were mass made at different times, and so I get lots of different colors. This one has some of the shiny, and it's like what I use, but it's not on the paper background, but it's stapled. There's another little snippet I'm throwing in. And then sometimes I use some of the coffee dyed or muslin, and I stamp on it. And then you can use those on tags. And here is one that is, I guess, for a Halloween journal, a snippet, because I made some of those this year. So you're going to have some nice snippets in there. And then I make this roll, and I have a video of how to do this. It's just on paper, and I just use my scraps of fabric that I've got cut up in squares. And I do have it on a video. It's from a while ago, so you might have to look back. And then you just cut off a length so you can use it, like if I cut it this long, it could be maybe the top of a pocket edge, or you can use it on a page at the top. Maybe I put a fabric flip and I lay a piece of this at the top of the fabric flip and glue it over the top of it. So I use this for lots of things. Or you can cut them small, like the size of these, and use that. So this was some that I had left over, and I'm putting that in your treasure box. It's getting full. We only have 6 more to go before I'll have 100. So if you know anyone who you think would like my channel, who might be able to enjoy some of my videos, let them know, and hopefully we'll get up to 100 soon. And I'm just past 30 minutes, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. This is Carol from Friendly Quail. Thank you for being with me today. I really appreciate you, and I love when you make comments. So I hope more of you will start doing that, because I know there's more people watching. And let me know what you think, and we'll see. When I do the video on the stuff in the treasure chest, I'm going to ask you for some ideas of things that you'd like to see me make videos about. So I will be making another video in a couple days. It might be the final flip through, and I will see you then, hopefully. This is Carol. Bye.